Well, good afternoon, everybody. As we head into the late afternoon, early evening hours, we still remain on the northern fringes of more threats for severe weather farther south. This is roughly going to be through about 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's still questionable whether we're going to get another round of these showers and storms tonight. Even if we do, it's probably going to be similar to what we've already had. The tornado watch was cut loose early. We thought that would happen. The tornado ingredients are much farther to the south, at least for any organized development of severe weather and tornadoes. And the higher risk is going to be down here from Jackson, Mississippi, just south of Tuscaloosa, and over to Auburn. And that's already starting to kind of refocus as storms redevelop. We do have one last severe thunderstorm warning up towards North Alabama. This is near Anniston, a well-pronounced Boeing line segment, and that's down in the Birmingham viewing area, just passed through Jacksonville. Again, taping this just before 2:40 this Wednesday afternoon. So let's go through the latest forecast guidance. Notice roughly through 2 o'clock in the morning, this includes the entire threat here. I think our threat should wind down around midnight, and you're going to see the latest data. And I will let you know that during our 5 o'clock newscast, we'll have another update on the model guidance. It's been kind of all over the place lately, so that's the other thing. Take it with a grain of salt. But the area in gray is definitely the highest threat for this very large hail, which is likely over golf ball size, and the embedded tornado threat as we get later into the day today. Here's what's going on right now as far as the storm threats today. We're mainly looking at 50-plus mile per hour wind gusts. I think we may have had a few of those earlier just on the southern fringes of the viewing area. Down in Franklin County. Very heavy rain. Most of us have seen that. It's much needed rain, frequent cloud-to-ground lightning, and then the large hail over 3/4 of an inch in diameter. Here's the latest HRRR model. I think it's overdoing the CAPE values, which is what you see. And these CAPE values are going to be high. I will tell you the graph model, the other one we use, is much, much lower. So what I'm doing is showing you the highest potential here. And even if the CAPE is this high, the atmosphere still may not support these bigger thunderstorms around here. Most of them are going to stay off to our south and just off to the west, and that's where they're pretty much developing now. So as we go through time, about 8 o'clock this evening, there's still a chance for some showers and thunderstorms, locally heavy rain, very noisy storms. There's a lot of CAPE here, and these could also produce some hail as well. I don't see anything really above nickel-size hail around here tonight. Notice how the focus of the atmosphere is primarily concerned down here, farther to the south in that gray shaded area that I showed you earlier. This goes up to about 10 o'clock tonight. Still muggy here in North Alabama, but these storms perhaps blocking the transport of the ingredients for more robust updrafts around here, and things are kind of focused in a complex of storms tracking to our south and just off to our east. So rough weather conditions down here. This is going to be around 11 o'clock tonight. Big complex of storms along I-65 as you go southwest of Montgomery, and not a whole lot left behind that. And as we continue on, you see one last little cluster here after midnight from Tuscaloosa to Meridian, Mississippi. But even that, not overly impressive because the CAPE is just pretty much gone. But the fact that our CAPE still remains high, according to the HRRR model, we're still going to have to watch it. So even if the forecast guidance doesn't exactly show storms here, doesn't mean they won't happen. So I think we've learned that. The atmosphere recharged pretty quickly earlier today, and more heavy rain fell behind. Notice here, 2 in the morning, still looking at this primary area from Starkville to Tuscaloosa. It's just south of Auburn, Montgomery, but Auburn's CAPE drops to 0. They become rain-cooled. So we'll kind of take all this data off here for you, and you kind of see about 5 o'clock. Notice the trend, and we're going to get to the current radar here just before 3:40 as well. But notice, draw this arrow here. That is pretty much the path that the most intense thunderstorms are going to take, and that even drops a little south after 6 o'clock this evening. And notice they just get clobbered down here to the south, right along that line. So south of Tuscaloosa, south of Auburn, more close to Selma. And that complex just keeps rolling. So we're likely going to see an ongoing line of strong to severe storms, damaging winds, and tornadoes. We're probably going to see that tornado threat down here into the northern panhandle of Florida. Down in Dothan, where they actually started the day with a few tornadoes in that area, at least one that I've seen. So that's kind of where that primary risk turns, and that kind of blocks us from seeing anything really substantial up here. Although this model does show some thunderstorms developing on the northern area of that Cape later on tonight, but still doesn't quite get things going very organized, so to speak. So as we continue on past 2:30, I believe this is probably the graph model. It does show these storms down here from Tuscaloosa, but not much around here. We kind of cool back off into the low 60s. So overall, I'm going to drink of water here and some ice. Overall, I don't think there's a whole lot to be too excited about, except some much needed rain tonight and the possibility we may see a few of those stronger thunderstorms late this evening. That's about it. Now let's take a look at the water vapor. This kind of shows you what's going on. And one of the reasons we have an unusual atmosphere is because, number one, the jet stream is very strong across this area. So things change quickly. And it's usually not down here this time of year. Usually it's up to the north. So we've got complex after complex of storms that fire up, and these are called MCSs. And I'll circle this one. You can see here's one here. And there's one down here. Again, these complexes of storms roll along this path, and energy goes through there as well. And we'll probably see one more of these complexes develop late tonight and track off to the east-southeast. And currently, we have a severe thunderstorm watch down here, and just a tremendous amount of lightning. So these are big-time lightning producers here as you get back into Mississippi. And this boundary, again, this is right on the northern edge of this severe thunderstorm watch. And the tornado watch is down here towards Tuscaloosa. And again, there hasn't been a whole lot of tornadic activity associated with this. In fact, much of it today. I'm going to go to the Storm Prediction Center page here real quick and just see what the storm reports have been like today. Come back to Outlook. Storm reports. We have, there have been a few tornadoes all down in the Dothan area. And this is 3 tornado reports, one southwest Georgia, the others in and around Dothan. And mainly just large hail. I believe maybe the Texarkana, Texas area may have had something similar. But overall, that's pretty much what we're looking at as these continue on. I'm going to kind of back up here. So as we go later into the evening hours, still a chance for thunderstorms. I'll have that updated forecast for you. But right now, we're getting a break in the showers and storms. And the main track later tonight will likely be to our south. Of course, if that changes, you'll find out during our 5 o'clock newscast coming up later this evening.